Hello everybody. A couple of days ago I saw that our Learjet 35 was ready for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and this was one of my favorite planes to fly, as most of you I believe would agree. But this has some particular nostalgia for me. Not only did I actually fly this in Flight Simulator 98 way back in the day when I was a kid. My grandfather actually owned this airplane, and I remember flying it, one of the airplanes that he owned, and I remembered flying in it as a kid. And this was just a spectacular thing. He happened to be a fighter pilot in the Korean War, and this airplane had been just close to his heart, being a fighter pilot with a leather seats in the back. But let's get in and get this thing started and take off. We're in Long Beach in Southern California, and looks like there's some traffic taking off there in the back, and a spinning plane over here. Anyway, there's some traffic here at Long Beach, which is good. I am on Say Intentions AI, which we will be doing a full air traffic control flight today. I put in a flight, and let's go to Las Vegas. This should be a short flight, but a typical one for an airplane like this. So we are cold and dark. We have the GPU plugged in. We can check that when we turn on our batteries 1 and 2. We will see DC volts is above nearly 30. Without the ground power, it'll be about 24, and that's how we know our DC volts are connected. Let's run through the checklists. I have the default fuel is plenty of fuel for this flight, but let's just check what we have here. So our tip tanks have drained completely into our wing tanks. The way that this works is you would fill up the tip tanks, and they would just gravity feed into the wing tanks. There's also an auxiliary tank here in the back, and we have to manually pump the fuel from the wings into this auxiliary tank in the back. But again, we won't need any of that. We have estimated range 1,000 miles. This is only a few 100-mile flight, so we're good. We've got some settings here. Current weights and limits. Okay. We will need our empty weight. So we're at 1,361 pounds. Okay, so we'll be about 1,300 pounds, and then we'll almost 1,400 pounds is our zero fuel weight. So I'll write that down so we have it. And this is important to calculate our landing speeds later on, because there's no EFB that will do this like in other airplanes. This is a pure analog plane. So we'll say 1,400. And then as we're approaching landing, we'll see what our fuel is, and then we will subtract our fuel weight from the zero fuel weight. So I have 2 pilots today, and that's it. Looks to be winds are calm. And let's check our EFB, the other one. Go away now. Just a click point on this to put it away. if our checklists are stored here. It doesn't appear to be. That's okay. So we'll need our checklists from this. Quick spots don't quite appear to... Okay. So our pre-flight is complete. We have engine, our ground power unit is on. Let's say we have our baggage secured. Passenger exits, passengers, there's no passengers. We are ready for our pre-start. Okay, oxygen masks. This is not modeled, but here's where the oxygen controls are. No, it's still not modeled. Okay, circuit breakers are all in, which don't appear to be modeled either. Landing gear is down. Emergency batteries is here. So, emergency batteries check and on. Panel switches and avionics off or set. We'll have our avionics off for now. Fuel computer, which is... Let's turn our avionics on so we can check a few things. Fuel computers is on. Here's our fuel computers. We will test our fuel quantities for each one of the tanks. So our tip tanks are 0. Our right and left tanks show a little over 1,000 pounds. Left tip tank is 0, and we have a little bit of fuel in the auxiliary. So we'll turn it back. We have total 2,000, let's say 900 pounds of fuel. Alright, pitch trim is down here. We set pitch trim to primary. There's primary and secondary. And we will move this trim tab. We have to hold it before it starts to move, but we put this right down into this pie section for takeoff. EF tone stuff. We'll turn this on later. Anti-skid is on. Jet pumps are on, which are here. Static source is set to both, which is static source here. Both. Okay, emergency pressurization. Our pressurization controls are here. We can turn on our cabin air. Guess we don't need to do pressurization yet. Oh, can't I move this? Don't seem to be able to move this. Maybe I need to be able to turn the engines on first. Altimeter, we don't have the altimeter setting yet. Batteries will check on. Battery 1 and 2 are on. GPU is connected. Inverters are on. Emergency landing lights. Which might be over here. Oh, here we are. test and armed. Alright, so they are on. We will turn them off. Okay, parking brake is set. Emergency handbrake, we will test. Hydraulic pumps are off. Annunciator lights, test. So we will test. And then where's the test button for annunciator? I don't think that's it. There we go. Those all look good. Okay, so we are ready for engine start. Let's get our clearance and checklists. So for this flight here, let's pick up our ATIS. We might have need to program our flight plan in here. So set origin is Long Beach. Oh, edit or view, that's what we want. Okay, here we are, November 145 Juliet Alpha. We are going from KLGB. Okay, Long Beach, set destination. I don't know why I did that. KLGB. Enter. Set destination is KLAS. Okay, Las Vegas. We will be we will fly this departure. We only have one waypoint is Nizen, and then we do the Rounders 3 approach, which I think is the private jet approach into Las Vegas. So we'll add one waypoint, MISEN. I think ISEN. Alright. It's Long Beach to Nizen to McCarran. Alright. Cruising altitude, we'll set at 35,000 feet. Enter. And then we want to go to procedure now. We'll set our departure, and I don't think we're going to use the departure. We're just going to take off flight direct to Nizen, but we will be using the arrival. Rounders 3 arrival. We'll load that. And then for our approach, which will be 26 left. could do an RNAV for 26 left. Let's do that. All right, load approach. Okay. Okay, we will need 1,000 pounds of fuel here. Let's just check to verify. We have almost 3,000 pounds, so we should be good. Our alternate will be Denver, and we should have plenty to come all the way back if we needed to. Okay, that looks good to me. We will set our approach, which is 125.35. 5.3. Come on, 125.3. Let's get our ADAs first. Oh, let's turn the air traffic control off. 1 second. Control. What do I want? Sound. Character voices 0. Okay. Okay, according to say intentions, wind is 055 at 4 with visibility 10. Temperature is 22. Dew point is -8. Our altimeter is 3006. Okay, we have 12, 26 right, and 8 right. Contact clearance on 118.15. Okay, and that is Delta. So we will go to 118.15. Hello everybody, I'm back. I had to change some settings for my radio in the SPASDET Next interface that I am using. Let's go ahead and get our ATIS again, and let's get our frequency. So we are on Zulu now, or Echo. Okay, 118.15. Long Beach clearance, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is ready to copy IFR to Las Vegas. And it's thinking.
Learjet 145 Alpha Juliet, Long Beach Airport clearance, clear to Las Vegas. Radar vectors MySend. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 41010 minutes after departure. Departure on 134.9 squawk 6545.
Long Beach 145 Juliet Alpha will expect radar vectors to mizzen and then as filed will climb and maintain 4,000 after takeoff. Expect flight level 410 10 minutes after departure. Departure is 134.9 squawk 6545. I don't know if it got our read back. Long Beach clearance, did you catch our read back?
Learjet 5 Alpha Juliet, negative. Please repeat your readback.
We will fly radar vectors to mizzen, climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect flight level 410 10 minutes after takeoff. Squawk 6545 and departure frequency is 134.9.
Learjet 5 Alpha Juliet, readback correct. Expect runway 26 left for departure. Contact ground for taxi when ready.
We'll expect 26 left for departure and we'll contact ground for taxi when ready. Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. Okay, we are ready for engine start. So let's... so our ground frequency is going to be... Ground is 1330. Okay. We have our transponders set up. Let's go to back. And then our map we will bring up. So we will be taking off at 26 left, which is this one here. So we will likely just be taxiing just like right there to take off. Oh no, that's 26 right. So we will be going down this way to taxi. So Long Beach ground, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is ready for engine start.
Nobody's listening on 133.005.
Long Beach ground, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is ready for engine start.
Learjet 145 Alpha Juliet, Long Beach Airport ground, engine start approved, advised and ready for taxi.
Learjet 5 Juliet Alpha, engine start approved. We'll advise when we're ready to taxi. Okay, so now we need to... Engine start on this plane is fairly easy. We've got our left and right starters here. Our thrust our thrust levers are in the idle position. We'll go ahead and start right engine 2, and all we do is flip this down. We're looking for an increase in turbine temperature or turbine speeds here. Hydraulic pressure is increasing. Okay, our fan temperature is increasing. Okay, and then we set this to gen. Should have turned our beacon on. And we have successful start on engine 1. Fans coming up. Okay. We'll set our cabin altitude here. Don't know why we can't set that, but stall warnings on. We will turn our taxi lights on. Hydraulic pump is off. Set our autopilot on. And we need our yaw dampers. So we will power these up, but we won't engage them. Okay. Right, flaps down. Okay, and then we'll GPU disconnect, which will be GPU is automatically disconnected. All right. Okay, we will arm our thrust reversers, because we may need these to taxi, and I will put on our parking brakes, and we will so we need our nose wheel steering. And I tried to bind that. We'll see if it works. Long Beach ground, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is ready to taxi. Okay, we will, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha will taxi to runway 26 left via Charlie 2, Charlie Lima 4, cross runway 3, then Delta 4, and then Delta. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready. Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. Okay, so we need the nose wheel. So this is kilo. Let's bring up our EFB. Unload. Let's load our flight plan. Okay, so we are here. We need to turn around completely onto Charlie 1. Then we will go this way and then this way. Okay, makes sense to me. Work. Okay, now we're on Charlie. We know where we are. We are looking for Lima. Julia, Charlie. Which I believe is y'all. Delta 4, Delta. Okay, so we need to go down that way. rest of our spoilers work. Okay, spoilers work. Alright, we are on Delta 4. We need Delta. Which I think we need to turn this. Hell are we? Right there. That's where we need to be. This is 2.5 left. Is that? Okay. So, contact tower on 120.5. Long Beach Tower, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you, ready for takeoff on 2.5 left. Clear for takeoff. We'll fly heading 260 Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. All right. We are ready for takeoff. Okay. Gear up, flaps up. We will fly to 4,000 feet and we'll fly runway heading of 260. And we don't need that much speed. Going to 134.9er Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. So we can't 134.9. Oops, I'm gonna turn already. Long Beach departure, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you at 2,900 feet, climbing to 4,000. Nobody was listening. Long Beach departure, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you at 3,500 feet, climbing to 4,000. All right, we're cleared to Mizzen. We'll climb to flight level 210, Learjet 5 Juliet Alpha. All right, so we need to, let's turn on our, say we are cleared way up. Let's get this back. Flight plan. We are cleared direct to Mizzen direct and enter. Zero 039. So let's turn to course 039. Climb and maintain flight level 230, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. Okay. And let's see if I can get us heading bug. Heading set. We will engage our autopilot now. And we will say altitude select. So I will say heading. Select 230. And we need to say direct to Mizzen 052. Okay, fine. Going to 124.3, Learjet, Juliet 5 Juliet Alpha. SoCal approach, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you at 15,000, climbing to flight level 230. Standard already. Climb and maintain flight level 380, 5 Juliet Alpha. Flight level change again, and we'll go up to 340. Okay, turn off our landing lights. Beacon's on, that's fine. Strobe's on. I'm trying nav lights on too. So we're doing 4,000 feet per minute climb here, which is incredible. Let's go outside and take a look. That's cool. Buttons don't work. Climb and maintain flight level 410, Learjet 5 Juliet Alpha. Let's get rid of some of this clutter here on our map. VORs, NDBs, intersections. Let's see how this looks now. Looks better to me. Alright. Modes are off. Oh, air ignition is off. Should have turned the air ignition on when we, after we took off. Let's see what our checklists say. Going to 126.35, Learjet 5 Juliet Alpha. Los Angeles Center, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you at flight level 355 to climbing to flight level 410. I can So we're almost at our top of descent point here. It's okay. fast little flight. Weather radar was off because there was no weather. Okay, let's set up our approach. So we are going to descend via Cocktail. The Rounders Z3, and then it says the Bourbon approach, but I don't see that here. We need to be at 17,000 feet. So let's switch this here to 17,000. Throttle these engines back here. And we're on flight level change. I'll throttle these all the way back. Los Angeles Center, 145 Juliet Alpha is descending via the Rounders 3 approach for an ILS Yankee for runway 26 into Las Vegas. Okay. ILS Yankee 26 left. We need to set that up. Menu. Procedure. ILS 26 left. Yankee. This one. Okay. Load approach. What is that? Cabin altitude. Lose cabin altitude? Cabin pressure? Descending. So I turned our spoilers on, which allow us to descend faster. This is an emergency descent. doesn't allow us to select anything for our cabin altitude. So we should be able to select this knob. And by mouse. Contact approach 119.775, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. Las Vegas approach, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you at 13,000. We'll expect ILS Yankee to runway 26 left, approach into Las Vegas. So, let's see. Menu. Back. Procedure. Getting a bit slow. Let me select that. cabin differential finally dipped between under 10,000 feet, but unsure why it. Did we climb too fast? Teachable moment here. When I idled the engines at the start of my descent, the engine bleed air could not keep up with the pressurization of the airplane. In this airplane, idling the engines at altitude will cause a failure for the cabin pressure to sustain adequate cabin altitude above 10,000. We just climbed so fast. So that is what's occurring here. At what, 4,000 or 5,000 feet per minute? We started flying at a sustained altitude at 13,000 feet with the engines spooled up to cruising speed, and that slowly caused the cabin altitude to decrease below 10,000 feet. I wonder if in my assists it has. Shouldn't have any on, but we'll see. Check that later. This thing brighter somehow, but it won't. How's our pressurization looking? Okay, it's falling. Okay, so we're gonna go on the airline route, not the one of these, which is usually what the private jets land at. We will go to our nav radio, and that is 116.9. Should be here, 116.9. All right, and then when we're ready, we will push this button, go to VOR. Our inbound course will be 259 degrees. So we will set that up. Okay. So our current course is what, 5-4-ish. Four-ish or so. That looks like Las Vegas right there. How are we doing on our fuel? Okay, perfect. Okay, we need to descend to 8,000 feet. we have the airport. So we will come and fly around like this and then land. So I put altitude acquire, but I think okay, let's turn on our landing lights. Okay, air ignition is on. We will arm our thrust reversers. Down we go. And we'll reduce our speed. We should be about 150 knots. This plane lands fast. Should be traffic to our left. Okay. Las Vegas approach, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. We are cleared for Bourbon for runway 26 left, 145 Juliet Alpha. So we are almost at Bourbon. Here we are. We're making our turn. All right, we got our clearance. I don't know if you can hear that or not. It's very faint. I'll have to fix that somehow. So we'll go and we'll make our turns. We'll reference our altitudes here. We need to be 7,000. Say altitude require. More power back. Will be 7,000 when we reach the Bishop. We'll say 6,600 now. When we get to Hot Dog. Okay, we're at, where are we, Hot Dog? Yep, we passed Hot Dog. We're going to Caduceus, so we can be at 5,800. There's an airliner out there. Going to 118.75 Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. Whoa. So 118.75. Las Vegas Tower, this is Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you descending for the ILS for 26 left approach. Continue approach for 26 left, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. Okay. So where in the hell is our... Let's turn off our autopilot. Pitch down. Cleared to land 145 Juliet Alpha. Okay, we need to get down here in a hurry. So our course is 258. Perfect. We are way too high. So we are descending. So we have full flaps. Our gear is down. I am throttle idle. Okay, we are coming Okay, we'll increase our speed. We'll pitch for about 125 knots. So we have spoilers and thrust reversers. Going to 121.9er Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. So it appears that we landed on the wrong runway, but that's the runway that air traffic control gave us. Okay, spoilers are up. Gear is, or flaps are up, spoilers are up. So we need to 1, 2, 1, 29. Las Vegas ground, Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha is with you. Request taxi to the FBO. And we're thinking. Okay, we'll taxi to parking via Alpha 6, Alpha, Alpha 7, cross runway 08 left, then Zulu Charlie. Learjet 145 Juliet Alpha. Okay. So they want us to go Alpha 6 to Alpha. We are on Alpha 6. is it bringing me up some random airport? Airports. Airport is this? Okay, this is Alpha 7. We will cross runway. We are okay, we look clear on the right, clear on the left. Steering's cross runway 08 left, then Zulu, and then Charlie. So the FBO is that building over there for private jet travel. That's what the private jet terminal is for Las Vegas. Okay, we are on Zulu and we are looking for Charlie. Now we're on Delta. What happened? What was that? Sierra. We need to go over on that side. So I don't see Charlie on here. So we are at Sierra, which is right here. So we just continue going straight. pass behind these two runways. A little because we don't have to go that fast. Okay. All right. So we'll just follow these things around and park where they tell us. So I did have a spark over here where we wanted to be. So okay, here we are. You should have the people out here telling you when to, if you're on track or not. Okay, we have parking brake set. We'll turn our air ignition off. Gens off. We jet pumps on. And stall warnings off. We'll turn our landing lights off. All of our other lights will now come off. Inverters off. Battery 1, 2 off. Emergency power. Avionics master. And pitot heats. And we are off. Well, thank you for flying with me. And I'll see you next time.